G'day everyone and welcome to Paranormal and Cryptid Adventures. We're out here in the rain today because we're going to set up our gifting station for the Yowies. Now this is for future endeavors. This will be set up long term, and we will constantly go back and check on it as we go through all our videos, add to it, change it, modify it, do different things with it. Just to start the episode, look at that formation, an upside down Y. Can you see it? Like a stick person. It's not a branch from the tree. Let me show you. See that? It's not come off any of the trees nearby at all. This is going to be the location of the gifting tree. We're not going to use a stump. We're going to try and have it about 6 foot high off the ground. I want to move away from putting things on the ground. I had a few thoughts about it, and I don't think it's the smartest place. I mean, they're very tall for a start, and I don't know. I'm just going to try putting it up high. So I'm going to be wedging down sticks, 2 sticks to make 2 cross beams, and then the idea will be that I will put other sticks on top, much like the table I have back at my shelter, and that will serve as a little table. And then we'll put items on there and decorate it. I got a whole plan in my head. Hearing what sounds like the radio. It's not me. Anyway, so you've seen I've set the foundations. Now I got to cut the cross beams that actually make up the floor. Alright, so the basic platform is now up. Now what I've got to do is carry the items over, well, obviously I've got to carry them over, and actually place them on top. So the idea here being, it's a good, I'm just under 6 foot. So it's a good 6 foot off the ground. So there's nothing to be mistaken for anything on the floor. If these things are real, you know, they're 7, 8, 9 or more foot off the ground. So that will be a site where they can see it and they'll know it's theirs. Now, the next step is to decorate it. I do believe there's something that I wanted to do that I haven't done yet, so I have to do that first. So let's do that. Okay, so to decorate the gifting area and make it feel somewhat important or sacred, I'm going to make like a wreath, like a circle of, will normally be flowers, but we're not in a flower garden, we're in the bush. So I'm going to use a different ingredient, which I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm going to find out. But first of all, we need to stake out the circle. Okay, so I've just spent about 5 or 10 minutes going around and picking it all up. And that's it there. Just simply loose bark. Just bark that's fallen off trees. So the process now is fairly straightforward. Just going to weave this round. Making sure we alternate from the one before. What we want to try and do is tangle it up kind of as we go. Okay, now that the wreath itself is made, we've got to go get some cordage to tie it up with. Now there's a few different sources of cordage you can use. You can use grasses, you can use roots, you can use vines. The ideal cordage for this job would have been the roots, but because it's been so dry, all the roots are just old and crack and break when you grab them. So that's the side effect of the no rain. The dryness, the heat, etc. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for some vines, and looky here. We have found a whole huge source of them. So the key here is selecting them without killing the plant or taking too many vines. Okay, so that's good. So that was just an offshoot of an existing vine, so that's perfect. Got some nice green leaves on it, which will make it look the part. Okay, so again, another offshoot. One more. Again, another offshoot off the main vine. Okay, so that was simple enough. I believe I've got enough vine here to do the job and to actually make it look quite nice. To actually make it look decent. Okay, so now we're back at home base with our vines. It's time to tie up the actual thing. Forgot what it's called. So you want to come up from underneath the wreath. That's what it's called, a wreath. Aretha Franklin. Now with this, you don't tie any knots. It's just all friction. So you want to bind the vine against itself. See that I've gone over there. Now because this is just going to lift up off, I can go around the actual sticks. Make sure you go right underneath. See, if you don't go back over the top of the existing cable that's there, you lose the bind, and that's what just happened then. I would never have had a root piece this long, so these vines worked out much better. Okay, so there it is. That's the wreath for the little gift area. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're back at the gifting place. I've got the shell from the other side because I still like the idea of a shell. I've got this, and I've got a red cloth to make it stand out. I have a quartz amethyst cylinder, so it's natural, it's crystal, but it's also man kind of influenced. I've got two kind of eyelet shape crystalline kind of marbles. And then for something different, I've got these magnetic little balls and a magnetic rod. Looks natural, but it's not. It's a magnet. Hey, miracle. Who knows that reference? So the idea is I'm going to place all this up in somehow and do it hands-free. I don't know how. I'll film it in a second. Now, of course, as I set this up, I can't actually see what I'm doing because it's about 6.5 foot off the ground. That's just an old red shirt, never been worn, bought for purpose, and I hope that looks right. I think it looks like a bit of a bird's nest, which is okay. All right, I haven't been able to look at that, but I think that should be good. I'll check it now. The gifting stump is set up. Now there's one more step I wanted to do with this, and that's to make an X. X marks the spot, right? Just want to make it stand out. So I want to find two decent sized branches on the floor and just make an X out of them. So I'll quickly do that and then we're done. Okay, so my camp is directly in that direction. The gifting stump is directly in this direction. I'll place the X between the gifting stump and my setup with a line of sight from gifting stump to X to campsite. Again, it's just what's going through my head, and it's just how I think it will be almost symbolic, almost to connect. Look, the X is between us two things, and so therefore it's from me. You know, I hope that the X is seen as like gift. Johnny done a little bit of research and found out that in runic alphabets at least, X can often translate to the word gift. So we're going to give that a crack. And again, by using this bark, we continue the theme. Okay, so that's my gifting stump. We have, to recap, we have the wreath of bark and vines and stuff to make it feel special. We have the red cloth to make it stand out. We have the amethyst quartz cylinder, that's both natural and man-made. We have the two see-through glass marbles that are in the shape of an eye, a bit more different than the shape of a circle. And then we actually have 5 magnetic marbles with a magnetic rod. That's all placed in the gifting situation. Now what we're going to do is no cameras. Again, we all know the reputation of trail cams, and whilst I'm okay with sacrificing that every now and then, here and there, I don't want to sacrifice the chance that the trail cam will drive something away. So there is no trail cam on this site. We're just purely going off the interaction, the back and forth. The only other thing we've got to do is I've got to get myself a footstep. A step up there. I've got to make myself something so I can actually step up and reach it. Again, the X we believe means gift, so we're just going to try that out. Now, I've started with a bit of a bounty. We won't be continuing this. Going forward, I'll just be putting maybe single items out. This one, I just want to see if there's any interaction. So I'm trying to kind of casting my net as wide as I can with 4 different types of items to see if there's any interaction. Now, this should obviously, it's not going to ride off possums or any climbing animals, snakes. Things could get in that and mess it around. Also, I wanted to get a glass, something to put over it to stop the wind and the weather messing around with it. There's no way to stop wind blowing that away. But, you know, it's okay. It is what it is. So, gifting area. Paranormal and cryptid adventures style. What do you think? Put in the comments. Obviously, this is a dynamic project, so if you think there's something that I should change or try, absolutely put it in the comments. I definitely want to involve you guys in this research process. Now, that doesn't mean if you put in the comments, I'm going to do it. But what it means is that if you put in the comments, you know it's going into my brain, and I'll at least consider following some of your advice. So put all your advice in the comments. Got a better idea? Got something to try for round 2, round 3, round 4? I'm welcome and open to many different ideas. So throw them at me. So gifting stump done. I hope you enjoyed this video. More like this to come. All right, so thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Still don't have a catchphrase for this channel. See you guys. Bye-bye for now.
Okay, hey, so if you're still watching, the rest of this video is pretty much just me scraping stuff off the floor. It's pretty exciting. But just want to say thanks for watching this deep into the video. Thanks for watching my first couple of videos on the channel. It's always appreciated, so keep that support coming. I'll keep the good content coming, and now you can watch me sweep the floor for the next 3 minutes of your life. Enjoy.
Bet you thought I forgot to do that, huh? No, 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 no.